Many YouTubers have moved from creating content to launching their own brands. One recent example is Lunchly, a school lunch product from MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul, promising a healthier alternative to Lunchables. But instead of praise, the launch was slammed as a cash grab. Leading the criticism, DanTDM, who voiced what many were already thinking. DanTDM, who has spent years building his reputation as a wholesome content creator, became the unexpected hero in this saga. He voiced his concerns publicly, tweeting, "What happened to YouTubers? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them." His blunt honesty hit home for many who were already skeptical of the trio's new product. Dan's frustrations weren't just about Lunchly though. His tweet highlighted a broader issue with YouTubers transitioning from creating content to pushing products. The concern isn't necessarily that creators are launching businesses, but rather that some are using their influence over young, impressionable audiences to promote products that might not be in the best interest of those fans. For Dan, Lunchly was just the tipping point, a glaring example of what happens when creators prioritize profit over the well-being of their audience. When MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul first announced Lunchly, they positioned it as a game-changer in the world of school lunches. With Prime Hydration already making waves, they promised that Lunchly would be the next big thing. Marketed as a healthier, more affordable version of Lunchables, Lunchly was said to include Prime Hydration, Feastables chocolate bars, and other processed snacks like pizzas and turkey crackers. The creators claimed that Lunchly had more electrolytes, less sugar, and fewer calories than its competitors. But these claims were quickly called into question. Critics pointed out that while Lunchly might have slightly less sugar and more vitamins, it was still highly processed food. And despite the marketing around its health benefits, the product wasn't really offering anything revolutionary. For many, it felt like just another example of YouTubers cashing in on their massive followings by selling repackaged, unhealthy food to kids. The fact that Lunchly was tied to Prime Hydration, which had its own controversy due to lawsuits over lead content, didn't help the trio's case. The irony was palpable. How could they criticize Lunchables for being unhealthy when Prime was under fire for potentially harmful ingredients? One of the major selling points of Lunchly was the inclusion of Prime Hydration, which boasts more electrolytes than the average juice box or sports drink. The marketing made it seem like this was a major advantage, but many were left wondering, do kids really need extra electrolytes in their daily lunches? Electrolyte-rich drinks are typically recommended for athletes or those with specific health needs, not the average child sitting in a classroom. This raised an important question. Who is Lunchly really benefiting? Health experts were quick to point out that while electrolytes can be beneficial in certain situations, they aren't necessary for most kids' daily diets. In fact, for children who aren't particularly active, consuming extra electrolytes could actually be harmful in the long run. The product's focus on being a healthier option rang hollow, as it didn't seem to be addressing the actual nutritional needs of its target audience. Logan Paul, never one to shy away from controversy, quickly responded to the backlash. In his typical brash fashion, he defended the trio's decision to launch Lunchly, saying, "We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. You don't say anything when Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version, you're upset. Then don't eat it." Logan's response did little to calm the storm. His defense, which focused on Lunchables' own controversies, came across as deflective. Many felt that instead of addressing the valid concerns about Lunchly's health claims, Logan was trying to shift the conversation away from his own product's shortcomings. Additionally, Prime Hydration, one of the key components of Lunchly, was also embroiled in its own legal issues, which only added to the irony of Logan's response. KSI's defense, on the other hand, took a strange turn. Instead of addressing the health concerns or the product's marketing, he attempted to call out DanTDM for selling toys to children in the past. In KSI's eyes, this made Dan a hypocrite. However, this argument didn't hold water for most of the community. Selling toys and selling processed food marketed as healthy are two very different things. While toys can be a form of entertainment, food directly affects kids' health, and this is where KSI's comparison fell apart. The backlash against Logan, KSI, and MrBeast wasn't limited to DanTDM's followers. Across social media, their own fan bases began to question their motives. What had started as excitement over a new product quickly turned into disappointment. Many fans felt betrayed, believing that their favorite creators were exploiting their trust to push a subpar product. The fact that Lunchly was being marketed as a healthy option when it clearly wasn't much better than existing processed foods only made things worse. KSI, in particular, faced a wave of criticism after his ill-fated attempt to compare DanTDM's toy sales to Lunchly. Fans quickly pointed out that KSI himself had sold toys in the past, making his argument even more ironic. His tweet, which tried to paint Dan as a hypocrite, was quickly ratioed, with replies calling KSI out for his flawed logic. At the heart of the Lunchly controversy is a larger, more important discussion about the ethics of influencer marketing, particularly when it comes to products aimed at children. With millions of young, impressionable fans, creators like MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul have an immense amount of power. Their endorsements carry a lot of weight, and for many of their fans, these YouTubers are role models. But with that power comes a responsibility. When influencers market products, especially to kids, there's an expectation that they will prioritize the well-being of their audience over profit. In the case of Lunchly, many feel that the trio failed to meet that expectation. Instead of offering something that genuinely benefits kids, they seem to have repackaged processed food in a way that feels misleading. DanTDM's critique wasn't just about Lunchly, it was about the larger trend of influencers using their platforms to sell products that may not align with their audience's best interests. This raises the question, should YouTubers be held to a higher standard when it comes to the products they promote? And how can fans hold their favorite creators accountable when they cross the line from content creation to cashing in on their influence? As the dust settles on the Lunchly controversy, it's unclear whether the product will succeed in the long run. While the trio behind it have massive fan bases, the backlash has undoubtedly damaged the product's reputation. Some fans are already calling for a boycott, while others are still holding out hope that the product will live up to its promises. For Logan Paul, KSI, and MrBeast, this might be a learning experience, a reminder that when you step into the world of business, especially in industries like food, the stakes are higher. It's not just about making money, it's about the impact that these products have on their audience, particularly the younger members of their fan base. In the meantime, DanTDM's voice continues to resonate. By speaking out against Lunchly, he has positioned himself as a champion for transparency and authenticity in the YouTube community. His willingness to stand up for what he believes in, even if it means going against some of the biggest names in the industry, has earned him the respect of fans and fellow creators alike. The Lunchly debacle serves as a wake-up call for creators who are looking to expand into the world of business. While it's natural for influencers to want to monetize their platforms, they must remember that their fans, especially younger ones, are trusting them to promote products that align with their values. In the age of social media, transparency and authenticity are more important than ever. For now, the YouTube world will watch closely to see how Logan Paul, KSI, and MrBeast handle the fallout from Lunchly's launch. Will they take the criticism to heart and adjust their approach, or will they double down on their business venture? One thing is clear, the internet won't forget this controversy anytime soon.